Hello and welcome to the Inside Vancouver Public Schools podcast. I'm Steve Webb, Superintendent of Vancouver Public Schools. Recently, I visited Hough Elementary in downtown Vancouver to speak with a few of the folks in the school's Green Team and Garden Club. They're connecting kids to nature and working to make the school a more beautiful place. Here's our conversation. Well, thanks everyone for joining me this afternoon. We're going to have a conversation about the Green Team and some gardening here at Hough Elementary. What was the inspiration behind starting the Green Team here at Hough? And just talk a little bit about the evolution of the Green Team over the past 6 years.
Sure. So Eva Unger, who was the former principal here at Hough Elementary, and she had a great idea. She went to her staff and said to her staff, what would you like to see in 5 years at Hough Elementary so that you can be a successful teacher? And of all the things they said, air conditioning, heat, better windows, whatever, program-wise, they wanted to have gardens at their school. And so gardens have been used at a couple schools in Vancouver schools and around the community, but we wanted to take it further. So when we met with your staff, they said, come up with a master plan for the school, and let's see what all the features are that you'd like to have. So we said, okay, so we went to the students at the time and all the teachers and said, so what would you like to see? And all the kids had amazing ideas, including zip lines out the library, which we did not present to you.
Yes.
But
I would have been a big fan of the zip line.
I know.
Although I'm certain our risk management company would not have approved that.
Oh, no. Kids still asked for that, but
Yeah.
but they wanted flower gardens, they wanted vegetable gardens. Our namesake is Patty Hough, so what if we could grow potatoes? Tell the story Patty Hough through some Irish history. Flower gardens, some nature play elements, different types of play here at Hough. And we have such a great campus with some beautiful trees, but lots of grass and pavement. So there wasn't much to inspire the kids to explore their campus. So we came up with a whole big plan of about 7 different phases. And so we're building the last phase right now out here. Our new playground is going to be shaped like a treehouse, which is what the kids asked for.
Nice.
And so we're really excited that we're almost done building our master plan. But, you know, the newer students, they have more ideas. So
Sure.
we might come back and ask for more.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a ton of fun. Tell me a little bit about the backyard field trip. Describe that experience for students.
Sure. So when the students helped plan, design, fundraise, install, and they help maintain every piece of the project that we have. And we asked the students, well, we should come up with a name for our project. I said, what makes you want to create all these different things? I said, well, we don't get a lot of field trips. They might go to the zoo or OMSI or someplace, or maybe to a couple other sites like the fish hatchery, but they want to go on more field trips. And we know money's tight. I said, well, let's create our own field trip. I said, well, let's make it in our own backyard. So the kids came up with a name, and that's what's on the signpost out there. It's our backyard, our campus where the kids are every day is part of the backyard field trip.
Nice, nice. Girls, do you like field trips?
Yes.
A little bit? What do you
Yes.
like about a field trip experience?
You get to learn more stuff about things and see new sights.
Yeah, learning about
Have fun.
new experiences. I like fun. Fun is fun, right? How about you, Sam?
I just like being able to, we learn about stuff, but we don't actually get to have the experience. But sometimes if you go to a place, you get to see the experience.
Nice. Actually exploring and sort of engaging.
Venturing.
And what was that?
Adventuring.
Adventuring. I like adventures, right? That sounds like fun. At Hough, every student is on the Green Team. So tell me a bit about why this is important from a student perspective, being involved in the Green Team. And tell me a little bit about what that entails. What do you do as a Green Team member?
We get to learn a lot of stuff about the garden, plants and animals. You get to plant plants and
What do you like to plant or grow?
sunflowers, dahlias,
yeah.
coneflowers.
So flowers, sunflowers get
Gourds.
huge too, huh?
Yeah.
Right? Gourds, what do you do with the gourds?
Well, Cheri once brought some gourds that she had, and they were, well, we just use them for show and stuff, and sometimes we at the Munster Mash Bash, one of our Houck at nights, we got to...
Munster Mash Bash?
Yeah,
What is that?
It's a Houck at night Halloween party.
It's a dance kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So
Neighborhood party? Did you dress up?
yes, it's at our school.
Yeah? What did you dress up as? What was your costume?
A witch.
A witch.
So at the Munster Mash Bash, we got to decorate the gourds and pumpkins.
Sweet. That sounds like fun. Did you carve or just paint?
We just painted and added, we added leaves and stuff to them.
Yeah. What have you learned about planning and harvesting and sort of tending to a garden? Like, is it a lot of work? Is it a little bit of work? Is it constant?
It's some work.
It's some work?
We got,
It's really fun planting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Do you like getting your hands in the dirt? Yeah. Do you like getting dirty?
yes.
How about you? I
Yes.
love getting dirty, right? Yeah. So are all the students in the school members of the green team, is that correct?
It's only 4th and 5th graders.
Fourth and fifth?
For Garden Club. So one of the conditions that Eva asked when we started Green Team, that every child needs to be able to participate. So the only way to do that is at recess. So I would come for all 3 recesses, and every kid could participate, whether it's just for 5 minutes or for the whole recess. I would come every other week when we started. That way kids could participate. This program's been so successful, we've had almost 200 students every year participate out of a school of 300 kids.
Wow.
That's a pretty exceptional rate.
Right.
And as it's grown in popularity and activities and such, we were able to add an additional program piece by hiring Cheri with a grant through the Hough Foundation, so that she now runs a garden club for the 4th and 5th graders after school on Tuesdays.
Nice.
And she also works special projects with some of the teachers as well.
Sure. Well, Cheri, tell me a little bit about the garden club then. It's an after-school program, correct?
It's
On
an after-school
Tuesdays.
program, and it's for grades 3, 4, and 5, and once a week after school. And we just work on a variety of different projects. We learn about horticulture, we learn about planting and taking care of plants, and just about what we're finding out in our backyard, right?
Get to see a
So,
lot.
and it was provided by the Hough Foundation last year. We did a pilot program, so, and it's continuing this year.
Terrific. So, let's see. I think I've already asked you what your favorite part of being on the green team is. How about the garden club? Is there something that you really enjoy about the garden club that's different than the green team?
It's mostly the same. Like, we get to learn about plants and animals and gardening, like green team.
Yeah. Sam?
I don't really know much, but I've just started this year, so I haven't really done it that much. but-
Okay. Yeah.
So the garden club gives us students an opportunity to complete projects, a more involved hands-on
Sure,
projects.
yeah.
So
Just a little bit more involved, a little deeper in terms of kind of the learning experience, maybe growing different plants
they
or...
get to take things home and
Terrific.
And it's a smaller group. Sometimes at Green Team, we'll have up 50 or 60 kids at a time. So
Wow.
it's kind of
Yeah.
tag team and
Sure.
and make sure everybody gets a chance to have a participate. We also have a set of tools here at Hough that the kids help take care of the Green Team. So we have some wheelbarrows, rakes, lots of brooms, because kids love to sweep. Even though kids don't like to do this stuff at home, they can't wait to do it here at school. So that's one of the conditions of the doing the whole campus update is kids help take care of it. So they can take care of it at recess, they can take care of it at garden club. We do have several days, work days in the spring and in the fall for families to come
Sure.
on a Saturday to help, because we are a pesticide-free campus, herbicide-free. So it's part of our deal to not keep the chemicals off is that we will help weed.
Yeah.
And we usually don't have too many problems getting folks to show up.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I'm aware of that sort of neighborhood community-based effort in terms of not just attending to the gardens, but the entire green space here on campus. And you know, I really certainly want to thank everyone for doing their part and really teaching and modeling sort of service and civic engagement in a way that really is illustrative for students. So that's what we mean by modeling, right? Talk a little bit about some of the attributes besides learning about gardening, but some of the other skills that we're sort of developing in young people.
We get to press flowers.
You get to press flowers for art, or?
Well, we made bookmarks before with the flowers and decorated our garden club folders.
That sounds like fun. What kind of flower did you press?
Like marigolds and some other.
Yeah, marigolds
flowers.
are small, aren't they? Yeah,
Oh,
I
they're
think,
about this
aren't
big.
they? They're about.
Take
they're
out
about
to the garden and show you.
Yeah, right. Trying to remember, what is a marigold?
Well, the kids have the opportunity throughout their classes and throughout the programs with Cheri to take any curriculum outside. So we have a stage in an outdoor classroom. So like 1 year, the 5th graders practice their Shakespeare out on the stage. We have an after-school Brazilian drum corps. They go out inside on nice days like today and practice outside as well. We've had PE class go out and do some work out and using the path around the gardens.
Sure.
The gardens are now spread out so they're destinations to go to. So when a student might be stressed or having a tough day, a staff member can take them out and walk them around and they can calm down. We know from the science that being outside in nature will help calm you and lower your blood pressure and help kids to refocus.
Yeah,
So they can learn any curriculum. They're using physical skills when they're sweeping and brooming, using their gross motor skills. And with the work they're doing with Cheri, all sorts of fine motor skills and learning lots of different types of activities.
Right. Cheri, talk to me a little bit about horticulture therapy and just kind of describe what does that mean and how do you facilitate that kind of experience for students that you're working with?
Well, horticulture therapy is working with individuals that have individual goals or group goals. And the horticulture therapist facilitates the process of participating in the activities that is therapeutic. So here at Hough, we have a pilot horticulture therapy program working with some of the special education classes. But then we also have a therapeutic horticulture program, which is a little different, and that's broader. So you're not documenting outcomes specifically for individual students. It's more a group outcome you're looking for. And we're prioritizing social emotional learning goals with our program, and so it's less about specific academic curricula. We're not focused on that as much as building our self-confidence and self-esteem, and we're learning teamwork and taking care of our environment. So we're really focused on those social goals, increasing conversation between students and getting them to explore the campus more. So the more they do projects in different spaces of campus, then more ownership they feel about it, which will hopefully prevent issues in the future. Vandalism type issues will diminish when they have
taking
that.
great pride in the campus and ownership of that campus because of the contributions that they've made in terms of caring and building out something that really is transformative.
And we've had that. We've had hardly any vandalism over the years. It's been 6 years that a lot of these things, our strawberry patch has been very successful. Nobody's ever stepped on it. We've had a couple of things break. Some of our students might be testing the laws of physics on breakability, but it's out of pure curiosity. And I can't get mad at that because we can replace things very easily. But when they have a chance to explore, we have some concrete animals that they can interact with and take care of, and different sensory plants that they can feel and touch as they're having conversations. And even boxes just for digging in the dirt when it rains. They want to collect the worms and put the worms in the box, and then they take little whatever leaves or branches and build little houses for them. So they're interacting, building, using their imagination. These are future architects. These are future environmental educators or engineers, and they're building and creating.
Yeah.
So that's maybe a different kind of play experience than they might have in a classroom with carpets. So it's just expanding their opportunities to explore.
Sure, sure. I really appreciate the social emotional focus. Here's what we know about children. They have really 3 universal needs: to feel loved and a sense of belonging, to feel competent and capable, and to feel safe and secure. And 2 of those 3 are really about social and emotional outcomes, and creating the kinds of experiences that cultivate that in young people over time is just crucial, absolutely crucial to their success in classrooms and schools and beyond. Girls, do you play with the worms?
Not really.
Not really. What? You don't have a pet worm?
We get to see the worms in our 2 gardens.
Yeah. Do you
The
like to touch
butterfly.
them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
Because some. You don't.
No.
Sam, how about you? Are you a fan of the worm?
A little bit.
A little bit.
How about the caterpillars? Because the kids find caterpillars all the time.
Oh, sure.
Have you guys found the caterpillars out there?
Yeah.
I found a moth once.
You
and
did. Interesting.
So our butterfly garden has the sign. So if a kid finds a caterpillar, they can take it out to the sign and see what it is, so they'll know if it turns into a moth or butterfly and what kind. And then they can find out about the flowers that they live on. So they're learning about animals in their habitat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we also do Ladybug Day at the end of every year. So did you guys do Ladybug Day last year, where we brought all the ladybugs to school? Yeah. And did you hold the ladybugs? Did you? Nice.
I'm curious, Cheri, are there very many of these sort of horticulture therapy programs that exist in schools? It seems rather unique to me.
It's very unique. I don't know of any across the country that are really doing what we're doing, really prioritizing our social emotional goals. There are other public schools out there that do have horticulture therapists working with them, but they are, seems like they're typically funded to prioritize food access and nutrition education. That's where they're centered.
Sure.
So this is really a unique program.
Yeah. How does one become certified as a horticulture therapist? I was just curious about that.
Well, there's a series of training that you go through. I went through the training with Legacy Health Systems in Portland and trained in the Legacy Gardens, on the Children's Garden and then the Healing Garden. And then you have to have a degree, bachelor's degree, and you complete a internship period, similar to some of the other professions, other therapy professions. And then you're registered through the national organization, the American Horticulture Therapy Association.
Interesting. Do you love what you do?
I absolutely love
I
what
can
I
tell.
do.
Yeah. You're just beaming over there.
Yeah, I absolutely
Is she a
love
rock
it.
star? What do you think? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like hanging out with Miss Cheri?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see why. Yeah.
One of the most important things is just to give the students an opportunity just to kind of step away from some of that stress they might be feeling in the classroom, and really the requirement to kind of sit still and pay attention, you know?
Sounds like this would be a perfect program for me.
Right, right. Sometimes they can kind of come out and just totally let that perceived stress melt away.
Did you think that was funny? Sort of? Or silly? I thought it was kind of funny and silly.
We can invite you any Tuesday at 3. You're welcome to join us.
Terrific. I could use some yard tactile digging experience to de-stress on occasion. So I know that when I'm out in the yard, it's really reflection time for me.
Right.
So I suspect that many people experience that in that way. Although sometimes it's hard to get all those chores done too, So
But a lot of the barriers kind of melt away outside. We're working together. Different ages and grades are working next to each other on the same projects. We're also incorporating our special education classrooms
Terrific, yeah.
all together. So that's really building inclusiveness, and we learn about diversity that way, you know, and how to work together.
Diversity in a variety of different contexts, right?
And
Differently abled students.
Right.
Is there any intergenerational sort of experiences as part of this? I know that we talked about some of the, you know, groundskeeping sort of bed experiences. Are there opportunities for students to work with grandparents or great-grandparents as part of the overall maintenance of the gardens?
As part of the work days, yes, absolutely. We encourage families to come together and work out in the gardens together. So we have all sorts of family members or friends come join us in the gardens to work in that way. We also, knowing that some students might be interested in a horticulture program, maybe they'll go to Bay, which has an amazing horticulture program. So this is a great opportunity. We've always wanted to maybe bring a mentorship program over and have some of the high school students eventually maybe come help mentor the kids, which would be a great connection.
Sure.
It's a wonderful way to get started and see where the passions are. Because we do let the kids use tools. When we have to maybe prune a tree branch or something, they're learning all that skills.
Yeah. No chainsaws yet, though, right? No.
We don't have that. We don't have that form yet.
Nothing like this,
No.
right? No poles.
All snipping.
All clipping. Yeah. Well, what's next for the long-term sort of vision of the Green Team and the Horticulture Therapy program here at Hough?
Well, we want to keep it funded, obviously. So making sure Cheri is here on a long-term basis is one of the goals. So we want to. She's working year to year, but I think as we build on this success and as she documents the success we see with the program, we'll only continue to support the need. We're also we've been very fortunate that you and your staff have been allowing us to do these things, because this is a change for your grounds crew, who will care for this long after these students graduate. So trying these different things, and we're applying these at different schools around the community. So we know that gardens are expanding, and hopefully using talents and skills with like Cheri, or bringing in master gardeners or other skill sets to help schools get kids outside more often, whether for a program or for a recess or a club, is great. So here at Hough, we're building the playground, which is shaped like a treehouse. We can't wait to cut that ribbon, and we hope you can join us that day when we do. That would be great.
That sounds like fun.
I don't know if he gets to be the first on the slide. Do you guys want to be the first on the slide?
I'm really good with slides. What do you think? That'd be a little silly. You could be first, both of you. First and second. Well, I really believe that if we make more, play more, students learn more.
Yes.
So we can't lose sight of educating the whole child. And part of educating the whole child is creating the kinds of experiences that are hands-on, that are real world, and that will kind of cultivate future ready citizens. And that is fundamental to our vision. So I want to thank both of you for your leadership here, your passion and compassion for this work. And I want to also thank Sam and Karina for sharing some of their experiences. Before we call it a wrap, is there anything else, girls, that you think the viewers might want to know?
We have two main gardens, the butterfly garden and the alphabet garden, and we have a strawberry garden, which gets a lot of strawberries in the summer.
Nice. What is an alphabet garden? I'm curious about that.
We have a garden with these little there's these little stone tiles all around, and they say a letter, and then they show a picture that has things that start with the letter, and we have like stone animals and plants, squiggly for
Artwork. Remember the different characters on the tiles?
Yeah.
Where do you find those characters? In books, right? They're all book characters. So what letter is you? Who's our character for you? Do you remember? Who's the only character we can think of with you? Captain
Underpants.
Yes, we have a Captain Underpants in our garden.
Nice. That is kind of funny.
And
Those
a llama.
stories, aren't they funny? Captain Underpants. Right?
And a llama. We're probably the only school with a llama for Is Your Mama a Llama?
Right? I love that story.
A llama.
Right? Sam? Anything else you think the viewers might want to know about?
Not really.
Not really? It's a wrap then? Yeah?
Well, lots of people had helped with building the garden over the school breaks, like summer break
Sure.
or spring break or
Yeah.
other stuff.
So you're grateful for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we. We're very grateful. Well, thank you, ladies. It was a pleasure spending some time with you. Karina, you crushed it. Sam, you crushed it. Cheri, you crushed it. Jane, of course, you crushed it.
Thank you.
Thanks for your leadership here. It's really wonderful.
Can I also add, we're not only supported by the amazing neighborhood, which has helped us write grants, but we've gotten local grants to build everything. So local business like Yogurt Time helps us fundraise. Our local Watershed Alliance has given us grants. The neighborhood, our PTSA has given us grants. So it really is, when we talk about ownership and pride, this whole community is really bought in. And your team has been incredible, allowing me to test theories and try new things on our campuses. And we've learned our lessons and we've changed how we do things in other campuses. But really, your team has been wonderful, from the grounds to Jennifer and Todd, as well as all of our local supporters who make this success so that the kids don't even have to think about it. But they really are the backbone behind everything that we do out there, from planning, design, and maintaining. My son won't pull a weed at home, but he can't wait to pull weeds with Miss Cheri. Because the roots are this long.
They're so cool, right?
We get that kind of feedback sometimes from parents. Guess what? My student was at home pulling weeds without even being asked. You
Nice.
know, we use those types of projects. So we're maintaining the grounds by pulling the weeds, but we're also learning about all the parts of a plant. So we're really careful to get all the roots out because we want to see them and we learn about them too.
Sure.
And it helps the campus. So we're really hoping to keep our funding and hopefully expand to other schools too. So
Nice. Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate, again, the leadership and cultivating the right set of partnerships to create opportunities for students here at Hough.
Thank you.
So thanks. All right, I think we're done.
Thanks, ladies.
Okay, well done, girls.
You did good.
My thanks to Karina, Jane, Cheri, and Samantha for joining me and talking about all the great work at Hough. And thank you to everyone for tuning into the show. Take care.